What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the Crown Cinema Podcast. In this episode, we are breaking down
and literally just watched
Good Will Hunting. What a sweet story. Talk about a sweet movie.
Yeah, I was saying it like kind of, we had to pause it for just a little bit, but it's just one of those where it's like, I think every guy in America loves this movie.
Yep.
Can't really imagine why that wouldn't be the case. This is a great story. And then the story about the story is such a great story.
Insane that...
It's like the American dream. It's like, yeah.
It's insane that young Matt Damon, Ben Affleck, first screenplay they ever written, only thing they've ever written, actually. They might have written some stuff later, but first thing they ever did is this movie.
Yeah.
And they won an Oscar for it.
Yeah. I do think some people get a little confused about it, though. They're like, oh, they wrote this and then, you know, they went to Hollywood. It was like, no, like they were working actors and I think they were doing okay. Like Ben Affleck, like Dazed and Confused.
Well, they obviously grew up together. This movie came about when Matt Damon was at Harvard. He went to Harvard for drama school.
Okay.
And he was tasked for his like final drama project was to write a 1-act play. And so he ended up writing a 40-page script, like started a script instead, went to his professor and was like, hey, I know this isn't a 1-act play, but I think it's the first act to a movie. And his professor read it and was impressed by it. And he said, you should keep doing this. That's good. And gave him an A for the assignment.
Yeah, just to keep him focused.
Right. So he got some, he felt confident about it. So he showed his friends, went to Ben Affleck, his best buddy, they both had big dreams of becoming actors. Mm-hmm. So he gave him the script and they both made a pact to finish writing it together. Like they've said, we'll both finish the script together. We'll write it. So they wrote it. And when they went to Hollywood to start pitching it, a lot of the studios wanted it. They went around, shopped it around. I think one studio said, yes, we'll make it, but they wanted a bunch of rewrites in it. They actually took one of the notes.
I think it was Castle Rock.
Yes, that's true.
Yeah, it was Castle Rock that wanted all the rewrites. And so they did some with a blowjob.
Well, that wasn't part of the rewrites.
That was no. I mean, like Will and Ben, like when they were like pitching it to the studios, they put like a blowjob scene where like it's just, you know, it makes no sense at all. But Will, I think, is the one that's doing it.
No, it's a sex scene, blowjob scene between Sean and Lambeau, the professor. It's like a gay sex scene in the middle of the script.
Yeah.
Makes literally no sense.
But it was their test for the studios to see like, all right, who actually cares about this? Who actually like wants to invest in the story? Like who cares about making this like a really good movie?
And who read it? Who actually read the script?
Harvey Weinstein. Mm-hmm. You know, for all of his troubles, you know, a lot of people aren't a big fan of that guy. But
I wonder why.
You can't deny that the guy knows how to make a good movie or bring a good script to life.
It's kind of funny. He's actually kind of a hero in this story. Because like a lot of the studios didn't want Matt Damon or Ben Affleck to star in the movie. They said, y'all are no names. Why would we ever let y'all be in the movie? We're going to pick stars. We want to make money.
I think they wanted Leo and Brad Pitt.
Did they actually?
Yes. Like I was watching the rewatchables like a couple days ago about this. And they threw those names out there. Mm. I'm like, that's honestly, that's kind of overkill for this. Mm-hmm. But it does just kind of go to show like, you know, this is 1997 when this movie comes out, but I think it took them like 5 years to get it out of like the whole journey of them like getting the movie finally made.
Right. So when they first made it, they were no names. When they were pitching it, they were nobodies. But once Harvey Weinstein picked it up and was like, all right, I'll make this movie with you guys and I want you guys to star in it. He was one that defended everybody. He's like, no, we're going to have these guys star in it. It's their movie. Yeah. So like he actually protected them in that little scenario where he let them actually play the main characters despite being no names. But during that 5 years of before it got made is when they were now a little bit more well known once the movie was finished because they had made movies prior to that. But before they shot the movie, when they first handed it over to studios, the script, there were no names.
Yeah. No names is I think that's a bit dramatic overkill because like they were actors.
No, but they weren't. They were only actors after they shopped it around.
Oh, that's what you're saying. The timeline was okay.
Like they were no names, gave the script around, and then after they got picked up,
started like
then they were in movies.
Some jobs. Okay.
Yeah. So by the time Good Will Hunting was shot, they had kind of established themselves as actors.
Okay, that makes a lot.
So they literally were nobodies coming from Boston to Hollywood. Say, hey, anybody want to buy the script?
Yeah.
Without ever being or done anything in the movies.
It is pretty cool. I know there is a story. I think it's the Robin Williams scene or something's going on. I think it was like the first time they saw like Robin Williams was acting in a scene for the movie, and they like kind of broke down crying because they did it.
They did it.
You know, not only do you land Robin Williams, but like you land Robin Williams in a dramatic role and he's crushing it.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, oh, thank God. Because Robin Williams, I mean, at this time, I mean, like
top of the game, I think.
He was a killer in the 80s, but he was definitely still very, very, very much relevant in the 90s.
Yeah.
And so, like, you know, it's crazy for those guys.
Yeah. But so 2 childhood friends get this movie made, and then they win an Oscar, and they still are the youngest people to ever win the Academy Award for Best Original Screenplay. To this day, Ben Affleck's the youngest. He was 25, I believe, and Matt Damon was 27, so he's the second youngest. They still hold that title. These guys, their first script ever, they're the youngest to ever win an Academy Award.
It's a crazy story. It's a crazy story. Now they got the Rip out. I don't know if you checked that out.
I watched it.
I checked it out.
That was all right.
It's like...
No, I'll tell you what. It got Netflixified.
Yeah.
That's the problem with it. It's a really cool story. Like the twist in it, like the whole kind of thing, it's cool.
I think, you know, for me, it's just one of those where it's like, all right, dude, like, you know what? Like, good for them. Like they literally accomplished their dreams.
The boys
and
are back
still,
together.
Yeah, they're still best friends. Like, all right, fuck it, let's go do a movie. Yeah, I think Matt Damon, like, between the Odyssey and everything, he's busy.
Mm-hmm.
You know, this was probably just a nice little like, all right, yeah, I'll go shoot it with Ben, chill out with him for a little bit on a set.
Mm-hmm.
It's nothing crazy, you know.
But Matt Damon kills it in that movie, though.
I think Matt Damon's going to bring it. I think Ben Affleck, same thing. I think they're both like top tier. Yeah, like it doesn't matter what you put them in, like they'll kill it.
Yeah,
they'll bring it, which is nice. But like again, like I probably won't ever watch The Rip again. But like everybody is pretty much watching that movie because they're just enjoying the fact that Matt and Ben
they're back together
on a movie. And then it was funny because like I watched it with Nate. And he was like, yeah, I think they wrote this together. And I was like, no, the fuck they didn't. They didn't write anything after Good Will Hunting because why would they do that? Why would they
end on top, baby?
Why would they go back to or even so much like just kind of going back to the slums of being a writer? I mean, you've got Matt Damon who went on to like, he did, you know, I think after this, like what he did Rounders.
I don't know exactly.
I feel like Rounders had to have come after.
He was pretty young in Rounders.
Yeah. I think it had to have come like right after Good Will Hunting. But anyways, he went on to do Jason Bourne. You know how much money that dude made playing Jason Bourne?
Bro, iconic.
And then Ben Affleck, Batman. Everybody in the world knows that if you play Batman, you're good for life.
Mm-hmm.
Like you just made, you're fine.
Talented Mr. Ripley.
Which we got to do that.
Yep.
We got to do that movie.
The Rainmaker, which is one of the ones he did before this movie, which kind of established his name beforehand.
Is that the one with... He was in something with Denzel Washington.
No, Denzel would be front and center on this poster.
Yeah, it's not the Rainmaker. I don't think he was like a big character in it. Rounders was 1998. So yeah, right after. But you know what? I forget they did Air together.
Air too.
Yeah. But Ben, they didn't write it, I don't think.
But
Ben directed it.
Yeah, Ben Affleck directed it.
Yeah.
But
so yeah, it's literally just an awesome story.
Yeah. And Rob Reiner was actually one of the big guys that helped them with the script and the rewrites. R.I.P. This movie's an R.I.P. movie. Rob Reiner helped it. You got Robin Williams passed away as well. But so the original draft of it was had more thriller aspects to it of like, you know, Will getting picked up by the NSA and him like them trying to get him to work for them. There's a lot more of that in the story. And that was like a main component of it. It's almost like a thriller type story.
Almost like a spy movie.
Yeah. And so Rob Reiner was like, it's really good, but cut all the NSA stuff. It's like, that's not, focus on the therapist and the relationship between Will and Sean. Like that's the heart of the story. You don't need the NSA stuff. Like, okay, that's a good note. And that was also what a lot of the studios were actually telling them to rewrite. Like, let's take this out. They were like, whatever. But they finally listened to it. And one guy, I forget who it is, but he was actually there's like a whole story about him. He was the one that wrote Good Will Hunting. He like actually wrote it. It wasn't them two. This guy like really had the rewrites. And he's like, I'm gonna be honest, y'all. I didn't write that movie. I gave them one note and I said, I agree with Rob Reiner, cut the NSA stuff. And that's the only thing I did with the story. Those guys did the story. That's not mine.
That's good.
So
you always like to hear the heartwarming, humble stories of Hollywood.
Yeah.
Not a bunch of people being like, oh, fuck those guys.
Yeah.
They didn't write that movie. But then I also, when it comes down to that, I do want to give a shout out to Gus Van Sant because, you know, he coming on the scene as a director, working with not only kids that are kind of like up and coming in Hollywood, but also they wrote the movie. Mm-hmm. So like there's probably that kind of battle you would imagine like on set where it's like, okay, like these guys wrote the movie. So there's probably moments where they're going to like try and direct.
Right.
You know, but he balances. I'm sure that Matt and Ben were like pretty respectful and in awe because Gus Van Sant is an insanely talented director. He's done great work, but I would imagine there would be like kind of that battle where like Gus is like, I see it being this way. And Matt and Ben are like, well, we wrote this scene and this is actually exactly how we see it. Mm-hmm. So just kind of that battle, but it sounds like this movie like went well, like making of it. Mm-hmm. I don't think you ever hear like bad stories about it.
Well, I mean, Matt Damon and Ben Affleck both have a great experience with it. They won an Oscar with it, started their careers, took them off to the level they're at now. They wrote it together. It was like, they grew up having big dreams of acting. Like they would work jobs together, save up money, take acting classes or go and try to get auditions. And they were just had a big dream of doing this. And then, I mean, you can see how excited they are when they get that acceptance speech. It's like two little giddy kids, just like can't even believe the fact that they're up there on stage accepting an Oscar.
It's almost like it's part of the movie in a way. It's like, damn, that them winning the Oscar and that speech is like one of my favorite moments of the movie. Mm-hmm. It is so cool that they star in the movie and they kill it. Yep. Everybody does such a great job in this.
I do know that because they wrote it together. Obviously, the scene when Ben Affleck tells Will to, if you stick around here for 20 years, I'm going to kill you. It's like, you got potential. Like, I don't got potential. You do. If you're the same area as me, then get out of here. Like, what are you talking about? So they had rehearsed that scene together in their rooms over and over again. So they just like knew how they were going to do it. So on set, when they filmed it, they got it in the first take because they had done it so many times already. And so they're kind of like, all right, but they didn't want to make it seem like they were doing less work. So they just like filmed it multiple times. Yeah. Just to make it feel like they didn't just get through it so quickly. Funny. But they had the movie down because they obviously wrote it for themselves and practice it.
Guys, I got to stop the episode real quick just to tell you about this product that I'm taking. It's called Lock Lab. Now, me and Cade, we don't do advertisements. We don't do sponsorships with any type of product that we don't use ourselves. Now, if you go back and watch some of the earlier episodes with me and Cade, I had a full head of hair, but it was thinning really, really bad. My friends were making fun of me. My mom was crying. Everything was falling apart. It was going terribly. I just decided to shave my head. I went completely bald because I could have gone to Turkey. I could have, tried out a couple other things, but I just didn't care that much. I just went bald. Then I heard of this product called Lock Lab, and it is literally a tiny pill that you just take once a day. I've been taking it for a few months now. I have a thicker, fuller head of hair than I did when I was like 19, 20 years old. And that's no joke. All right. This is no BS advertisement. I'm straight up telling you, take this thing called Lock Lab. It is a easy little pill if you just want to keep your hair. If you just want to keep your hair, but you don't want to work that hard, just take this little pill by this company called Lock Lab. Again, go look at the earlier episodes we had. You will see how bad it was for me. You can even see some of the mean comments we had. Just check it out. I would heavily, heavily recommend Lock Lab. Look at this. For audio listeners, that's me rubbing a full head of hair. Lock Lab. Check it out.
I love the Boston accent, man. I think the Boston accent is my favorite accent.
Really?
I think we've talked about it just for like a movie aspect. something about watching like the struggling Boston man get his shit together while also like pounding beers throughout a movie.
Yeah.
Like with that thick, heavy accent. It's like, my boy's wicked smart. There's something about that, like that. It's just so awesome. It's just so kick ass for me to watch.
And it feels so real because obviously they lived these lives. Not exactly, but they grew up in Boston. They have this they know the vibe of the city. They know how their friend group works. Like it feels so real. And I believe even Casey Affleck, a lot of his lines are just improv.
I would imagine so, but it's so awesome because like, dude, this hat that I'm wearing right now.
Oh, I didn't even notice you were wearing that hat.
Yes, I got this hat in Boston. I think about like, I say wicked smat all the time. I think about The Office, Michael Scott with his like the love of his life that he meets in the show. They're like always kind of making the inside joke of like, what are you, wicked smat?
Yeah.
What are you, wicked smart?
That's just Casey Affleck, an improv line in Good Will Hunting.
A throwaway line.
He literally just says like, my boy's wicked smart. And that's it.
In passing, leaving the scene.
He's like Casey Affleck, who, by the way, I am a big fan of Casey Affleck, but like when I think of Casey Affleck, I think of Wicked Smart, which is just not a huge role in anything. He also does a Dunkin' Donuts skit with SNL, which cracks me up. It's so funny. And then there's a movie where, but it's turned into a meme now, where he like it's not funny, but he tries to like get a gun. He's like about to go to prison. And so he like steals an officer's gun and like tries to shoot his head. And that unfortunately has turned into a meme.
I don't think I've seen that meme.
I see it with a lot of like kind of like Barstool sports accounts. Like anytime somebody loses a bet, because the scene is him, like he gets the gun, he tries to shoot himself, but the gun's like jammed up and then he like tries to get it. So the officers like take it away from him. He's like, get off of me, get off of me. Anyways, but yeah.
He's also responsible for removing Timothée Chalamet from Interstellar.
Oh my God, yes.
Not responsible, but the way they cut the movie.
Yep.
They had Casey Affleck as the main Cooper's son.
Yeah, he's a big actor. I mean, you know, everybody knows Casey Affleck, but he also like, he just kind of pops in and out of things.
Yeah.
Just like kind of these little small roles.
What are his main roles?
His main role? Let's look up Casey Affleck and kind of look at his resume. He's got Good Will Hunting at the top. It's awesome. Yep. Oh, the assassination of Jesse James.
Okay.
Which I don't think it like did too well. You always kind of forget that he's in Ocean's. He's in the Ocean's 11 crew.
Yep. Another heist movie.
Oppenheimer.
Who is he in Oppenheimer?
It's been a while since we've seen it. He pretty much plays the guy that's like up in the U.S. military.
Oh yes,
and he's like on to Oppenheimer.
Right.
He's on to him.
Yeah.
As far like I think as far as like the communist thing, and there's like a scene in a room, and it's cool because Casey Affleck is playing like a kind of a scary.
Yeah. Right.
Like figure.
I remember him now.
Yeah, he's in. I don't think. He's in something else with Christian Bale and Woody Harrelson. And that's kind of a sleeper movie. That's a gem.
Really?
Yeah. I've seen it one time. I can't remember the name of it.
Who's the other one? Christian Bale who?
Christian Bale, Casey, and Woody Harrelson.
Out of the Furnace.
Yeah.
Ooh.
It's a sleeper. It's pretty good movie.
Got a 6.7 out of 10 on IMDb.
That's how you know it's good. Look at that. Willem Dafoe.
Damn.
Forrest Whitaker. Yeah, like the pretty stacked cast. But yeah, so Casey Affleck, he's in there.
Yeah.
He's in there.
To me, it's just insane that 20-year-old Matt Damon and Ben Affleck wrote this script, and it's like such a well-written story for the first thing they ever did. Like within the psychology of it, of how the therapist can get him to break down his walls. And the whole movie's kind of about his defense mechanisms. Like how can they break him down? Because he's put up these walls despite being such a smart guy and has so much potential.
Yeah.
Yet he limits himself the entire time. And there's two kind of segments of the movie that show you why these guys were such great writers at this time and why the script is such a beloved script. It's because you kind of see Will's defense mechanisms happen during each therapy session he's going through as they're trying to test out therapists of who can actually help Will. We see in the first one, he kind of confronts the therapist about being a gay man.
Do you find it hard to hide the fact that you're gay? What?
Right. You can see how he's kind of, his defense mechanism, he won't open up, but he's going to like jab at you instead. He's going to try to get under your skin before you can investigate what he's got going on. The second session, he, makes fun of the whole entire hypnotizing scene by singing a song at the end of it and saying like, you didn't get me hypnotized, you idiot.
Yeah.
Like, you can't do this. Like, I don't need therapy. Right. He's making fun of the whole entire thing. And then next is with Sean, and he's pulling out every single trick he has. First, he's like trying to make fun of his intellect by saying, oh, you read all these books or you just pick them up in a shrink shop. He's just trying to make fun of it. That doesn't work because Sean's a well-trained therapist, very smart guy. So he's able to, that doesn't work. So he starts whipping out the whole, trying to challenge him. Like, how much you work out, you lift weights? It's like, how much do you bench? It's like 285. He's like, oh, fuck. I don't bench that.
That's my favorite part of that scene is that like he's like trying to rattle him, and then as soon as he says 285, that he like actually can't hide the fact. He's like, holy shit.
Yeah. And so now you see we're seeing his defense mechanisms pop up with mocking him early with the intellect thing, challenging him physically because he gets violent. That's one of his defenses. He'll get violent against you. Then you see him try to get really underneath his skin by like trying to analyze him by making fun of his painting. Then he pulls a nerve, lets him know, makes fun of his wife, but at least calls out his wife, which really strikes a nerve with Sean, who chokes his ass.
And
in the scene.
He gets a taste of that 285.
Right.
Just like, what, you really want to poke that literal bear right now?
Which is a nice moment to show why Sean actually can get to Will. It's because he gives Will a taste of what he knows. The violence. Like, if you're going to fuck with me, I'm going to step up and I'm going to hold my ground. Even though I'm some old man therapist, I'm still from the same neighborhood you are. And
exactly.
I'm not a bitch.
Yeah.
Right? Like, I'm going to choke you. It's just like a great moment. It's like, okay, they're kind of cut from the same cloth, and he's not just some wimpy therapist that Will can't respect. Sean's going to make Will respect him.
Yeah.
Which you see throughout the rest of the thing. So now we know he has these defense mechanisms. And in the big final moment where Will finally Sean finally breaks through to Will, when he keeps telling him, it's not your fault.
It's not your fault.
So like Ben Affleck and Matt Damon understanding the character so well, in this little simple scene, they go through all of his defense mechanisms in that one scene that he's just shown you throughout the entire movie. He's like, it's not your fault. He's like, I know. Like, playing it off like, trust me, I know. I'm smart. Like, I understand. It's not my fault. He's like, no, you're not listening to me. It's not your fault. Then he like smiles, trying to do like the funny thing.
He's like laughing.
Trying to do the funny thing.
I know. Yeah.
He's like, no. So he breaks through every single defense mechanism to finally get him to break, and then they finally hug at the end.
He shoves him, so he does. Yeah, he gets violent. Right. So that's like the third level. And he's kind of like playing it off, like, yeah, I know. But again, he's just hitting every single defense mechanism for them to be able to write that and understand the character of like, how would this real person actually feel, and what would he like subconsciously put himself through to try to stop what's happening. Yeah. Like he's starting to get to me. Let me put in my defense until there's nothing left. Yeah.
Then he can finally break through to him. So it's just genius that these two 20-year-old kids were able to write this brilliantly written story with these great revelations about a man's psychology and having to overcome these problems that he's putting on himself.
It's really weird that it kind of mirrors real life in that aspect.
What do you mean?
The fact that like Matt Damon has never written a screenplay, and then the first one he does, he's like, it's like exactly what Will says to his girlfriend in this movie. He's like, yeah, like Beethoven, Mozart, like, I don't know, like just something about it. Like when I just look at these things, like I can just play. Like Matt Damon writes his first screenplay, he can just play. Mm-hmm. There's just no like explanation for that. Like, what? Do you know how insane that actually is? Mm-hmm. Do you know how many people have heard this story and they're like, well, fuck it. I mean, if this dude like just picked up a pen and then like wrote a movie and won an Oscar for it, like, why not? Like, why can't I do that?
Right.
Like this changed probably so many people's lives. And it's like, well, you know, I guess anybody could make a movie. Like, I'll never know if I can't make a movie if I didn't try it once.
Yep.
Like, one and done.
Put your cash on the table and see what kind of cards you get.
He wrote one script in his whole life and he won an Oscar for it. That's insane.
Why not keep doing it?
That's insane.
What else can you boys come up with?
I mean, just this movie, like just the levels to it cracks me up. It's such a good bros movie, but it's also like, it's just, I think there's levels to it. Like one of the things that I like, and can we look at the cast?
Yes.
So, you know, I want to get the characters' names right. Okay. Professor
Lambeau.
Lambeau?
Mm-hmm. Lambeau.
Of course it is.
Gerald Lambeau.
Professor Lambeau, who's such a fucking loser. He
horny as hell.
Dude, and just like it's funny, but it's also like just very annoying, like how much of a loser he is. Great actor.
Which is a great way to position that character as like a sort of antagonist to Will, because he's the same thing that the smart guy in the bar that tries to make fun of like Chucky, Ben Affleck. It's the same thing where he's using his intellect to try to get women or use it to get power or to look a certain way. He has the medal, right? Which is exactly what Will doesn't want. Will's the smartest one. He doesn't want,
he just truly doesn't care.
Yeah, he's the smartest guy.
Less about that.
He's the smartest guy and doesn't want to use his intelligence for power for women. Like he doesn't ever try to like be the smartest guy because he is, despite everybody else trying to like use their intellect to like get advances in the world. Yeah. Will's very much not doing that. So he doesn't like those type of people. So that's just a great little antagonist character of why they wrote in him being such a horny guy trying to hook up with his students all the time.
Well, and then I think it's one of those like kind of movie magic things where I doubt this was actually planned, but it works out in the way that like Professor Lambeau kind of resembles like an older Will Hunting. Like they kind of look the same, like physically. Like so I think the professor, like when he looks at him, it's just like, good boy. He's like giving him a pat on the head. Like they kind of have the same hair, you know, just that sort of thing. So it's like, he like just sees this potential bigger superstar, quote unquote superstar,
right?
Who literally nobody cares about him. Nobody knows who he is. He goes into Sean's class. Sean's like, oh yeah, he won a medal for math, and nobody cares. And he's like, well, you know, like if you were in the math community, it's a very big deal. And nobody cares,
right?
And it's just like it goes to show like the levels of it. That nobody cares, but he cares. And him in that striped shirt with that scarf on doing the math problems. And then he's hitting on the two ladies. He hits on a student.
Yep.
Like, it's Saturday, my day off. Unless you'd like to have a drink with me later.
Yeah.
And then talking to that other lady while Will's in the therapy session, he says,
talk about the symphony.
He says it's actually quite erotic.
Yeah.
And she just starts laughing at him.
It's like, wow, yeah.
No, she straight up starts laughing at him because like, all right, creep.
Yeah.
Like, I don't care who you are.
These professors, man, somebody's got to stop them.
Yeah, but talking about the ponytail guy, part of me has like this little beef with that scene.
Why?
Just for the sense of like, okay, so let's start from the beginning here. Okay. Beginning of the movie, Ben Affleck's character, like the first bar that they go to, he like gives a shout out at this girl, you know, and he tells, he's like, I can't believe she didn't throw some of that, you know, good hoochie moochie at me last night. Like, why didn't she do that? She usually does that. And then he says something to her and she just embarrasses him in front of the bar, in front of his brother, mind you.
Tootsie Roll dick.
That's right. Yeah. And she's missing a tooth.
Yeah.
That's a tough blow.
Yeah.
That's a tough blow for this character. So then they go into this Harvard bar, you know, to pick up some hotties.
Yep.
And Ben, you know, his character, Chucky. Chucky's on the case. He immediately gets after it. He immediately approaches two ladies in a bar and like starts shooting the shit with them. And, you know, I'm not gonna totally derail here, but like, first off, the ponytail guy is not like the worst guy on the planet. Okay.
What do you mean?
He sees this guy with like this, you know, black eye.
You don't want to go after that guy.
I know, but he's clearly friends with the ladies. They know him. They know who he is.
Well, he actually goes to Harvard.
Yeah, but he's like protecting them. He's like trying to make sure that the ladies are okay from this fucking scary dude in the bar that like clearly gets in fights and stuff. I'm not saying his approach was correct.
Right.
Just saying like he was trying. Anyways, back to Chucky. Chucky's spitting some game at him. Sure, but Will kind of cock blocks him there. You know?
He does.
Kind of cock blocks him if you think about it.
Steals the girls.
Like, he could have just let Chucky beat this dude's ass and then maybe have a shot at Skylar.
Now he's got loyalty.
Now, because his thing, like, then, so Will just goes, puts the dude in this place, and then, like, goes back to the bar. Like, they don't even attempt to talk to these ladies anymore, which I never understood that. But here's the thing. There were 2 girls that he was talking to.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, Will could have thrown him a freaking bone. You know, he could have been like, all right, I'm actually going to go for the Brit.
Yeah.
You can have, like, the Boston Harvard chick.
Yeah.
You know, but that just doesn't happen. And then so now he's been rejected by a toothless girl. He got made fun of for being stupid.
Yeah.
He doesn't get Skylar. Will does get Skylar. Also, Will's a genius, super rich. Also, in Ben Affleck's case, he helped write the movie, but he doesn't have the big superstar role that Matt Damon gets. I don't know. Just part of me feels kind of bad for Ben Affleck. On the other side of the ponytail,
He does get the accolade of being the youngest ever to win an Oscar for original screenplay. So he does have that on his side.
He did get to become Batman. There's no doubt. But
Yep.
Okay, and you did mention the ponytail guy. I kind of want to, say that too. It's just like, okay, this dude was like protecting his 2, I don't know, friends, classmates, whatever you want to call them. They do know each other. She's like, oh my God, why didn't you just go away? She like knows him.
Right,
She knows that he's probably like a little asshole. Why in God's name he does what he does to these guys? First off, they just got done fighting. Or maybe, I don't know if it's the same day. They literally all have bruises.
Yep.
They all have black eyes. Shirts are torn. What? Why in God's name in a Boston bar?
Yeah. Well, they're Harvard bar. There's no fights, hopefully, in the Harvard bar.
Well, I think that's the other thing. It's like when you're in a, I don't know, sophisticated Harvard bar, it kind of looks like any other bar.
Yeah.
And
Still a college bar.
5 dudes that you don't recognize that are like all beat up. They have heavy, thick accents.
Yeah, yeah.
You're going to go talk shit to those guys? You don't do that. You
Well,
don't do that.
His once he starts to try to be all pretentious on him, and then once Will's like, I mean, what if we got a problem? We can step outside and figure it out. That's when he's like, oh, these guys are real. Okay.
It's cool.
It's cool, man.
It's cool. But yeah, that was just like something like, I don't know. Because here's the thing. I've seen this movie so many times. I actually don't. This is one of those, like, I really don't know how many times I've seen this movie.
Classic.
But like watching a little bit of it last night and then watching it today, I was like, never really thought about that before. But there's a bit of cock blockery going on here.
Mm-hmm.
So just wanted to give a little bit of love to Chucky, a little bit of more love than he really gets on screen.
It's funny that Will obviously is fighting against the pretentious dude in that bar scene. He's like, you're just reiterating and regurgitating the shit you've read. Next year, you're going to read this, right? Showing that he's a genius. But that's obviously Will's like biggest thing he's kind of against in that scene. However, Sean reveals to Will, you do the same shit. You just regurgitate the shit you've read too. You just read more and are smarter than everybody else.
Yeah.
When he's talking to him on the bench, he's telling him about, if I asked you about art, you would tell me, you would read me a sonnet, or you tell me this about this. He's like, but you never actually experienced this. You never felt love.
Mm-hmm.
You never even left Boston. Because like, you're the same. You're using the knowledge just as a way to get advances in wherever you can in life, protect your friends, whatever it is, not for anything good. Like, you're not actually achieving anything in life.
You're not doing anything at all, which is like kind of the problem here.
Yeah. So he kind of reveals to Will his hypocrisy of how you're just regurgitating shit too. But it actually hits Will. He's like, fuck, I am doing that.
Yeah.
Damn.
It's not like the same exact thing as the ponytail guy, because he like actually is able to like make some type of interpretation from, like, I think about the painting scene where he just grills Sean.
Yep.
Which, fun fact, Gus Van Sant actually drew that picture.
Did you really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Actually, holy shit. Fact check me right now.
Making big claims here.
Yeah. Because we fucked up so bad on the Moneyball episode. That was not Ron Washington.
Goodwill Hunting,
But-
painting. Well, it looks like at least Gus Van Sant does poetic watercolors. So he probably did do it. We'll take your word for it.
Hopefully. Somebody's going to kill us.
Anyway, maybe he did. Maybe he didn't.
Dude, he did.
Choose what you want to believe.
He did.
It's all right.
What? You know what? I do have a question, though, about the movie. There's something that I wondered like more and more when I watched it. I try to pick up on it, and maybe I'm missing something, but like, is one of the characters supposed to be a dad?
Who, Cole Hauser?
Is he? Do we know that? Maybe he's supposed to be. And
he has
like
a wedding ring.
Maybe that gets cut out. You know, there's some. We're missing something.
I noticed he had a wedding ring on.
Okay, because like you think, I don't know. Like, it's a little confusing that there's no kids involved in whatever operation these four guys got going on.
Mm-hmm.
It's like they're getting fucked up at a little league baseball game.
Yep. Oh.
And then there's another scene where like they're just playing in a bouncy house. Like it's like one of those buildings where it's just like a bunch of like bouncy houses, and like it's Chucky and the other brother, or not the other brother.
Yeah. I know you're talking about that. Casey.
Not Casey.
Oh.
Okay, Morgan and
Billy?
Oh, Billy. That's right. Yeah. Morgan and Billy, they're just like playing, and well, they're actually fighting.
Right.
And I was wondering, I was like, why are they at like all these kid places?
I think back then, like they have nothing to do. There's no cell phones. They just go around and just do things. Morgan doesn't have a job.
You think in 1997, you as like a 21-year-old, like just dude, hammered probably. Like, you know what? It could be a culture thing.
They did bounce out quick though. They're like, let's get out of here.
I guess like
it's cheap. It's cheap. It's a cheap entertainment. You know?
I guess, yeah. The baseball thing made sense, not the little league thing. That's a little wild to just go watch a little league baseball game.
You're just bored. I think you're just bored. They have nothing to do.
There could be kind of the deeper meaning of like they're all just kids, like deep down. They're very immature.
Trying to hit on the moms.
Yeah. Well, yeah. They could be just looking for all the honeys in all the different places. Maybe that's what it is. I was hoping maybe somebody would tell me. Like, why are they at like all these kid things?
I would assume it's just because.
Like, I understand like they're kids.
Bored.
They're like supposed to be quote unquote kids, but like, no, they're not. They're not 5.
Right.
They're not ages 5 to 11.
They aren't even teens. Drinking in bars. Underage.
Will turns 21.
Yeah, he's underage the whole time.
Yeah.
That's why. They're like, what's up? Because they can get into the Harvard bar because they know the bouncer.
Oh, yeah.
Like, what's up, Casey? Whatever they call his name, whatever his name was.
Yeah. And then after the Little League baseball scene, they get in a fight because the Irish versus the Italians.
Mm-hmm. Oh, speaking of fights,
the
fight scene in this movie is probably the worst fight scene ever filmed. I love this movie. It doesn't take away from it. I'm just saying that fight scene is terrible.
Let's just call it what it is.
Dang good.
How did that happen?
No.
How did they mess that up so horribly?
It's not.
And I mean, like everything is bad.
It's not like it's Matt Damon and Ben Affleck's first time directing, so they don't have a good. It's a fucking established director doing it.
Yeah.
It's just like fake slow mo. Like you can clearly tell the slow mo is fake.
That Casey Affleck punching the camera shot.
So bad.
That is so bad. And here's the other: the music.
I didn't even notice. What is the music?
It's just not good. It just doesn't. It just doesn't really make much sense to me. It's like kind of like this dreamy out there thing. But like I don't know. I guess there is kind of like like these fights that they get in. Like it's like kind of timeless, endless. Like they're just like on loop. Like just doing the same shit. Like just here they go again. Like they're fucked up middle of the day getting in fights.
Yeah, I mean
it just. I feel like you could have thrown on like a little like heavy rock or something. Like he punches the Italian dude, it's like, the drums start playing, you could drag it out, make it look better.
Right.
I think they just looked at that scene and they're like, holy shit, we can't do anything with this, but like, we have to put it in.
Yeah.
We have
He has to go to jail.
He has to go to jail. We have to show why he goes to jail.
Point.
Also, I love that he does have respect for the judge when he gets sentenced.
Yep.
The judge is like, he just calls him out on his bullshit, which he respects it when people do that.
He's like, I am bullshitting.
Yes. He was like, I've seen like you've gotten all these cases dropped. You represented yourself and all that. And he says, I see like you went orphan, you went through 3 foster families.
Yep.
Some other judge would look at that and care. I don't care. You hit a cop. You're going in.
Yep.
And then he says, case dismissed. And he says, thank you.
Yep.
He's
Respectful.
He's like, holy shit. Like it's just one of those where, like his character is like probably annoyed with the justice system. I bet Matt Damon has something written for Will where he like shits on the justice system.
No, he probably likes the justice system because he knows how to use it to his advantage.
Yes, he might like it in that regard, but he doesn't respect it. The fact that he's like, dude, like I'm clearly guilty of all these things, like carjacking. I found a loophole in the law, but like, dude, I stole a car. Like I should be thrown in jail.
He also doesn't care about going to jail because he has no aspirations in life.
Yeah, he's good.
There's nothing, doesn't matter to him.
Yeah.
He's a genius, but it's like, I'll just break out.
Yeah.
I'll just escape the prison.
Or, I mean, I would just look at it more as like, okay, like, if I'm in here for a few days, at least I don't have to worry about paying for groceries.
Yep.
Like free food.
Yep.
Don't have to worry about running up the water bill.
Yep. True. I get to read in my spare time.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Like, yeah, for his character's sake, like, oh, too bad. I gotta read more books.
Now, obviously the visual aspect of the fight scene is pretty terrible. However, there are some really powerful visual storytelling in the movie. Like the opening, obviously the intro of the movie is like this kaleidoscope, cool little framing, right? They have like the kaleidoscope thing over the credits. That's just a little bit of hint to tell you how Will's mind works. It's a very complex character. It's like he thinks about things a lot differently, so it's shot very differently. That's just a little bit of symbolism of who the character is going to be just through the intro, which is nice. And then once the intro ends, it shows Will who's reading in his room, but the shades are down. He's like closed off in this room because he's hiding himself from the world. He hides his potential from the world. He doesn't do anything with it. So like when he's doing what he loves, learning, using his mind, he's just locked up, hiding himself from the world. So great little visual storytelling there from the first shot you see of Will in his room, locked up alone to tell you how the story's going to go and what's the main problem. Pretty impressive when a director can pick one shot to start the movie off that tells you everything you need to know about the character. That's just impressive.
Yeah.
They use a lot of warm and cool colors in the movie to kind of contrast when Will's feeling comfortable or uncomfortable. When he's in his room, like the opening shot, very warm colors, a warm color tone because he's in his happy place.
His hubbub.
When he goes into Sean's office for the first time, it's shot very cool colors. And you can tell he's uncomfortable because he's in a therapy session. He's trying to get out of it. He doesn't want to be here. What he's doing isn't working, obviously, because Sean's able to combat him and knows what to say to this really smart kid. And as the conflict progresses in the scene, Will, when he's analyzing the painting and he's trying everything he can just to get under this guy's skin to make him quit. Like he's got to find something. So he starts, breaking apart his painting, trying to like dissect him mentally or psychologically. As it gets worse and worse and the scene gets more uncomfortable, as he's like getting to the root of what Sean's biggest issue is, or, his deepest scar in his life, Will steps closer to the window and like that light, the cool light from the sun gets harsher on his face until it's like super bright on his face at the peak of that scene before he gets choked, right? So using that cool and warm. And then when towards the end of the movie, once Will starts to actually open up to Sean, he is shot in a lot more warmer colors. Like there's actually, the framing actually just only shows Will when he's in the seat. I think it's in the laughing scene, once like the fart scene. Where he's talking about his wife, Sean talks about his wife farting. The whole background is this warm couch color, kind of showing that he's like willing to open up at this point now.
Yeah.
So just using some of the colors to tell you how Will's feeling. And then when they sit at the bench in the park, when Sean basically just says, you made me think about what you told me last night, all night long.
Yeah. Robin Williams giving one of the greatest monologues we've ever witnessed.
Now that scene is just a single shot. It doesn't cut back to Matt Damon at all.
It does at one point
at the
end. Yeah.
But through the entire monologue, even though Will was responding to Sean in that scene, it never cuts to him.
Yeah, it's always on Robin. Yeah.
What the character does as Sean's starting to get into Will, making him realize that the camera's slowly kind of shifting to the side and it creeps in Will into the shot. Like he kind of slowly comes in to just tell you that
this is
what he's saying is resonating with Will. Exactly. And then a cool one's at the end. Once Sean and Will had their big hug moment, Will's crying on his shoulder. Sean finally broke through to Will. There's a shot of Will in his I think it's his room, and he's staring up at a light bulb, and the camera shot above him, and he's like staring at the light bulb, but it's kind of like distance from him because he's been like, you could think the light bulb is like a symbol, like the light bulb in your brain, like his mental intellect that he can use to advance himself in the world. It's distant from himself, but the camera creeps in slowly until the light bulb is gone, and you just see it in his eyes. So to know, like, okay, this is how we're going to let you know that he's fully committed to changing and actually using his mind for good, or actually doing something with his life. So it's got some brilliant cinematography just to tell you more about the story.
Yeah.
Good, well-made movie. I love how they use those love scenes, like the scenes with him and what's her name, Skylar. It's obviously the movie's basically therapy session, him with Skylar, therapy session, him with his friends. Like, it keeps cutting back and forth to his personal life and then his life with Sean as he's trying to fix his problems. But the movie's so well written in the fact that every time there's like a revelation, or Sean breaks through to him in some sense, or makes Will realize something, Will will revert back to his old ways in the next scene. Like, when he asks about, do you regret meeting your wife because she passed away and you have so much pain? Like, because he's so scared of that. He's scared of abandonment. His parents left him. He's been in foster homes, never had a connection with anybody but his buddies.
Yeah.
So he's really closed off, but he starts to like the girl. And so he kind of asks about that in the therapy session. He's like, I don't regret it for a second. But in the next scene, that's when, I think it's when he doesn't call her back.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
So he's like, he realizes that. He's like, okay, maybe I should take the risk, but he's still scared about it. He hasn't changed yet. He's like, I know that's the case, but like, I'm still kind of scared.
Yeah.
And I think it isn't until, is that the baseball scene whenever he asked about, when he asked about, do you regret meeting her? I'm pretty sure that's got to be when he talks about he went to the baseball game, but he ended up not going. So he's got to go see about a girl.
A tragedy, by the way.
Yeah.
That story. I
love the ending of that scene when he's like, I can't believe you missed the game. He's like, well, I didn't know he was going to hit a home run.
So yeah, that's so good. I'm pretty sure that's like where the kind of the regret was, because he, it's a big scene because Will's like, actually him asking that question shows that he's trying to like come out of his shell a little bit. The fact that he asks a personal question, a real question.
Yeah.
Like, you read it? It's just, like, obviously it just doesn't look that pretty for like an outside viewer. It's like, dude, your wife passed away. It just doesn't look like you're doing that well. Like,
yeah.
So it's a real question. And yeah. I think that is the same scene.
But if you notice as you watch it, it's like that happens all the time where he'll learn something and then decide to not do it. He regresses back to his old nature instead of progressing forward until until Sean finally breaks through to him to where he'll overcome these problems he has. But the whole movie is just like the following scene shows you how Will handles that information. And he never really takes anything for it. Like he'll kind of progress with Skylar and then pull back.
Yeah.
Well, the most heartbreaking scene for his character is when he tells her, I don't love you.
Yeah.
When he does, and he really wants to be with her, but he just is too scared to actually commit to it.
Yeah.
So he doesn't want to get his heart broken, even though she's like, let's do it. Like, what are you talking about?
It's pretty. So what you said at the beginning, it's like this whole story, it's really just it's the back and forth between his personal life and these therapy sessions that he has with Robin Williams. And so you think about that for like your first screenplay, you give your character essentially superpowers.
Right.
He could solve any math equation, that sort of thing.
Analyze anybody.
He can, yeah. Like, dude, he's got CIA, NSA, like they are trying to hire him to like do big boy stuff.
Yes. Like, please work for us. We need your brain.
Yeah.
You're a freaking genius. The guy that won the most accomplished math award there is nothing compared to Will.
Yes. And they choose to make it like to focus on like a love story, like therapy session where, take this with a grain of salt, like almost nothing really happens. He doesn't get like a big job. Like his life doesn't change in this crazy big way that you would assume most writers would do,
right,
with a gifted character that they write with, that kind of power. And they just make it a therapy session, like him trying to get with a girl, but like you don't even really see the big math sessions. You see a couple of them and it's like, okay, he's like doing these math equations and he's getting high fives and stuff. But like you don't really see him on the screen with like the math teacher that much, like solving big things.
That's just where it's so smart that these 20-year-old guys were able to do this because they're focusing their story on the character and what's his internal problem and how does he solve this.
While also fixing the therapist. You open into his life too. And that could look corny. That could be done in a really corny way.
A lot of dialogue. Sometimes it's hard to make dialogue intentional and meaningful, but you do it.
Do you really think about this, writing a script and you make the shrink open up? And it sounds corny. You know, that's like a scary little thing where if you do that wrong, you blow this movie. And I think a lot of that is performance-based.
Yep.
I think most of it is writing. But I'm just saying that's risky, where it's like, okay, like we're focused on Will. Then another one of the characters that we want to focus on is the therapist. They could have focused on the mathematician, the Professor Lambeau, kind of having like this kind of realization. They could have focused more on him. He clearly needs work. He clearly like has some ego problems that they could have like dove a lot deeper into it. It's just really cool that like they could have done so many different things for this movie.
And they were going to with the NSA thriller type style.
Right. But I'm just saying like they could have done so many different things. They could have chosen so many different paths, but they didn't. And it was the best version that it possibly could have been. They won the Oscar for it because of the decisions that were made. So I just think that's like mind blowing. Like there were probably very, very, very difficult decisions that were made. I bet Matt and Ben got in so many arguments over like when they like just the course of writing this movie.
Getting feedbacks like, wait, no. Then realizing, damn,
I think about a lot of like angry Dunkin' Donut sessions that Matt Damon and Ben Affleck had, just like writing, and Ben's like, what are you fucking retarded? Why would he do that? You know, something like that. But it ended up being like the best it could have been.
Heartfelt, dude.
Yeah.
And then like the emotions at the end work so well because they've been building up Will's defense mechanisms like we talked about. And we see that Sean's breaking through to him. Sean's revealing things to him about himself that are true, but he keeps fighting against it because he doesn't think it's right, or it's like, I'm too nervous to do it or too scared. And towards the end, there's a scene where Sean tells Will, you don't even know what you want. Like, do you have even a soulmate that pushes you? Like, is there anybody in your life that cares about you enough to try to actually make you into the best version of yourself? And Will can't think of anybody. He doesn't have anybody like that, or he thinks he doesn't. And then he's like, get out of my office, which is a nice moment too in a therapy psychological perspective, because Sean cares about him so much that he's like, if you're going to fuck around, get out.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not here to just bullshit with you. I'm being real.
Yeah.
So if you're not going to be real, then get out. And Will's never had that before.
Yeah.
Will's never had somebody that loved him so much that they're willing to push him away.
Yeah.
To, make him realize what he's doing is wrong.
He's never gotten tough love, which is, and then it ends up being like kind of perfect timing, because then that's when,
right. So that's
Chucky.
That's where I'm going. It's
nice.
It's like, I think Will probably knows that Sean loves him, or at least it truly is trying to help him. He's the only one that stuck around. Will keeps returning. He kind of likes his therapy sessions. So he knows that Sean likes him. And when Sean kicks him out, he's like, what the fuck? Like, you're kicking me out. We're not over. And he kind of wants to stay there.
He even says, he's like, I thought we were friends.
Right.
And Sean, him kicking him out, he's like, dude, I like you, but like, this is like a mentor relationship. We're not friends. I'm not going to go grab a beer with you. First off, you're underage. Second off, you are on the cusp of like really fucking your life up right now. But I'm also on the cusp of saving the world. And I want to help you. Like, I actually want to help you. Yeah. Like, he tells him on the park bench when they're looking at the doves, he's like, I'm in. I'm in. I think this is a good case. There's the relatability, just where it's like, it'd be nice to help somebody like get out of this neighborhood.
Right.
I know what that looks like.
Yep.
A lot of people don't.
And so you hear that, see that scene, and then the next scene is whenever he's in the demolition site, he's talking to Chucky, asking him, I'm going to stay here all my life. What are you talking about? We're going to raise our kids together, go play Little League. And he realizes that Chucky loves him so much that he's willing to push him away too.
Yeah.
He's like, what are you talking about? You're not supposed to be here in 20 years. You're supposed to be way out of here, making way more money than us, living a way better life than us. Like, that's what I want for you because I love you.
Yeah.
So he realizes like, oh, I do. People in my life do actually love me, and they actually want me to succeed and come out of this position. They don't he probably thought that his friends just want him to stay with them in their little circle. But Chucky, being his best friend, loves him so much is willing to push him away.
Yeah.
That lands so well because the previous scene was Sean doing that to him, who's the smart leading character who is trying to push him, obviously, because he's a therapist. So when you see his friend do it, you're like, oh, damn, he does love him.
Yeah.
It's like a really nice moment to have Will realize, damn, I am fucking my life up.
Yeah.
Actually.
Yeah. Well, and then and who knows what the reality of this is. Like, I think about like Chucky just in that moment, he's looking at his buddy who's got a hell of a rap sheet. And they, a lot of those crimes, like stealing a car, Grand Theft Auto, like, bro, that you are making bad decisions to probably make a buck.
Mm-hmm.
If you're out here trying to steal cars, like, that means you're probably trying to sell it for scraps, that whole thing. So I'm just thinking for Chucky, his viewpoint, he's like, bro, if you stick around here, you're only going to become more bitter. That's going to happen because like you didn't push yourself, and anybody with that much brain power is just going to be pissed off and probably not fun to hang out with.
Yeah.
B, you're just going to like probably get into like heavy crime. Probably going to be trying to like rob banks.
And you're going to be successful.
You'll do well until you do get caught. And then boom, there goes your life.
Or you turn into Ted Kaczynski.
Which, man, that's such a good scene.
Mm-hmm.
But I do like it. It's like, dude, it's not so much that like you stay here. Like there is the whole, like you owe it to me because I don't have that gift. But if I did have that gift, I would use it. It's more of like, dude, you stay here. You're not going to live this honorable life.
Right.
Like you're going to fuck up bad. And like, you're going to find yourself in prison for the rest of your life.
I mean, Sean mentions this, but it's cool that Will, it's just like a good character thing of having Will be the janitor at MIT after hours. Again, going back to him hiding his ability because he wants to be at MIT, but he's too scared to apply.
Yeah.
So he works there instead as a janitor overnight to where he can feel like he's there. He can walk the hallways. He can solve the math problems when nobody's looking. So like, again, he's hiding it. That's just a good character moment too of him. You're seeing him actively wanting, but refusing to step up.
Yeah.
So he's like putting himself in positions where he's like close enough to kind of almost feel like it, but he's not willing to actually do it.
Yeah.
Great, deep, beautiful movie.
Yep. And I'll tell you what, that It's Your Fault scene, again, don't know how many times I've seen this movie. Doesn't matter. A couple tears came out today.
Can't confirm. Graves teary-eyed.
Yep.
On the couch.
We ready to rate this?
Let's do it.
I was trying to do the math in my head, like Will Hunting. I was like, all right, what's 47 divided by 5? Can't do it. It ain't me. It's not going to be me. Look at me. I already forgot what the fucking score was. Okay. All right.
What you got for Good Will Hunting?
For Good Will Hunting, and this is coming off of our top 10 movies where it's just like, damn it, like how did this not get on the top 10?
Yeah.
Like if I had seen this movie recently, this would have just been in the top 10. But Good Will Hunting's getting a 9.4 out of 10 for me.
Oh yeah, I got the same thing.
This is like one of the most rewatchable movies ever. Like just one of the best go-tos of all time. I fucking love this movie. Acting 10 out of 10, especially because they fought for these roles, the star-studded cast, but then they also did land some big players on the screen with them.
Yep.
Who everybody delivers. Everybody delivers. This is a great movie. Writing. What are we talking about?
What are we talking about?
They did it. You don't get that award for bullshit. 10 out of 10. Editing. 8 out of 10. I'm really knocking it because of the fight scene. I still don't know what that was about. That one just, and I'm telling like, I remember seeing it like as a kid. And I'm like, God, like this sucks. Like this is such a bad fight scene.
Like why fake slow-mo? The punches don't look real.
I can't
at all.
I would like to think that like when Matt Damon was going up for the Jason Bateman or Jason Bourne role, Jason Bateman, when he was going for the Jason Bourne role, he was having like audition and do things and show that he could fight. And somebody in some room was like, okay, but Matt, can you explain this one? What happened here?
Yep.
How did this mess up? So 8 out of 10, whatever.
Yep.
Cinematography, 9 out of 10. Boston's beautiful.
It is actually a really beautiful city.
I love a good, I've been to Boston the one time.
Historic.
Yeah. It's like, that's a great place to shoot a movie. I love it. So you really can't go wrong whenever you're shooting something in Boston. I'm a big
Boston.
Yeah, I'm very appreciative of Boston. And then enjoyability, 10 out of 10. I love this movie.
It's a great movie.
I love this movie. So yeah, 9.4 out of 10.
I have a 9.4 out of 10 too, and we have the exact same score. Acting, 10 out of 10. Writing, 10 out of 10.
Wow.
Editing, 8 out of 10. Cinematography, 9 out of 10. And enjoyability, 10 out of 10.
And then
Verbatim.
did I pretty much just like hit all the points that you had to?
That's it, baby.
Yeah.
No, phenomenal movie. I mean, I just love I love seeing the genius just freaking solving math problems. The bar scene when he, reveals his intellect to the guy to like diss him when he's an underdog type character who's like a Southie Boston guy who shouldn't be smart, but he's a genius and he can just riff and just destroy this Harvard graduate. It's like, screw you. Like, you got nothing on me, buddy. Yeah. Even though he's like the underdog in the scene, sort of, because he's, again, from Southie.
Yeah. Very, very quotable movie. Let me ask you this. Favorite, I got two questions for you. Okay. One, favorite scene. What do you think your favorite scene in this is? Because like pretty much every scene in this movie is kind of a classic.
Enjoyability.
There's not a wasted scene in this one.
Enjoyability would be the bar scene. Yeah. Always so fun. Emotionally, whenever Chucky's telling Will, better not be here in 20 years.
See, yeah.
That's impactful.
Yeah. See, emotionally, I'd go with the Robin Williams one. But like you can't go wrong with the Ben Affleck monologue either. Mm-hmm. Now, favorite scene, I think just as a dude, like everybody loves like the bar, him putting ponytail in his place.
Yes, dude.
Just I know I was kind of giving it some grief earlier in this episode, but like who are we kidding? Like everybody loves that scene. Now, let me ask, what's your favorite like quote or kind of line? Just whatever, because I know mine.
I like the watch yourself, Chief.
That's all
the Chiefs.
That's great. Yeah, the Robin Williams just like, hey, that's enough right there, Chief. I love Casey Affleck's Wicked Smart.
Yeah,
but I use, do you like apples?
Yeah.
Well, I got a number. How you like them apples?
Yep.
That's like one of those quotes where you can use it in so many different ways. And like you set it up so perfectly. So like if you're at a bar and you use that, everybody else like chimes in with you. Mm-hmm. So where it's like you ask somebody like, do you like apples? They already know where it's going. They're like, yeah. And then somebody like everybody just, why you like them apples?
Yep. Now my favorite character, the one that brings the entire friend group together and really honestly is the reason why the dynamic works so well, I think, it's Casey Affleck as Morgan.
Yeah.
His banter he's not even a focus of the movie ever. He just is adding little dialogue pieces here. But the scene whenever Will finally brings Skylar to meet his friends and he's one busting Ben Affleck's balls. That's so funny. That's just like a real friend group thing where he's just like fucking his story up on purpose.
No, but it's also the perfect like little brother being annoying to the big brother.
Yes, there's that too.
He's like, oh, we already heard this fucking story. And they're like, yeah, we know she hasn't heard the story. Like, he's just literally being an annoying little brother.
Like when he's like, here's a big crash behind him. He's like, there's a gunshot. He's like, no, you fucking heard the story before. I love that scene.
So good. It's so good. And then, gotta shout out Minnie Driver in this. She kills it. Mm-hmm. I think she's like, she plays the part of that girlfriend like perfectly. And then
I feel like it's perfect, but like,
you can't say you feel like it's perfect, but that doesn't make sense.
I feel like it's perfect for Will because he's a smart guy and he's like a kind of a quirky girl, probably. He's also smart.
Yeah.
He can't, because like I think Harvey Weinstein, one of his big notes or one of the things he wanted to change was have like a super hot chick as the girlfriend for Will.
Yeah.
But they really wanted Minnie Driver. Like, no, she's it. He's like, fine, we'll cast her. But Harvey Weinstein, the old horny bastard, wanted to get a hot blonde, probably.
Bro, she's pretty. She's pretty woman.
Yeah. I just think that she's like the quirkiness is kind of like over the top.
Yeah.
I'd say like the
No,
I don't know. Their little banter between doesn't really land for me.
Wow, really? I disagree. I think it like goes well with him because he's a Southie from Boston.
That's what I say. It's perfect, but perfect for Will. Perfect for the character. He needs a quirky little.
Yeah, she can keep up with him. She calls him out on his BS because like she's got her shit together, and like so she's trying to like help him too. Like as far as like, all right, like I know you love me, like quit fucking around. But like there's like a couple things where I like whenever he calls her. I think the first time she's like reading a book, although it had the book she's reading is like a sexual dysfunction book. I'm not exactly sure why that's thrown in there.
Well, she's like doing anatomy or whatever, organic chemistry.
Oh yeah. It's just fine. Like, I don't know. Is Will okay down there? They haven't had sex. I'm just saying.
They did have sex.
Yes, not at that point.
Gotcha, yeah.
And then, when he crashes her dorm, like she's playing piano. Like it just goes to show like she does have a life. Like she's got big aspirations. She, hard worker, smart, that sort of thing. It just adds on to like, dude, Will, you got to get your shit together.
Okay. I got to correct myself here. I just remember this. After the fart scene when he's talking about, oh, fuck. Yes. No, I'm not correcting myself. Sorry. But after the fart scene.
After the fat scene?
The fat scene with Sean talking about them laughing about his wife. He talks about like the intimate moments that he got with his wife. Like that makes everything worth it. Like those are the only moments that I know because that was my wife. And so then that's when he decides to go back and, basically try to get a second chance with Skylar because he hasn't been calling her. And so he walks up to her dorm room and she's like playing the piano and singing. She's not like singing that great. Like she's just kind of just having fun on her piano. But he like stands there for like a second to like capture an intimate moment. And then knocks on the door to get her attention. So like after he had just learned that Sean talked about the intimate moments, he goes to the girl he loves and kind of like gets himself an intimate moment with her where like he heard her sing, play the piano, and then he knocks and then they start talking. That's just a nice moment as well with this whole Sean teaching Will how to live. And so he captures it every once in a while before he regresses back to being a loser.
Yeah. No, there's only one loser in this, and it's Professor Lambeau.
Yeah.
Fucking nerd.
Horny nerd.
Horny nerd. That's horrifying.
I think it was. Who was it?
Although I do like that he goes day drinking. That's pretty chill of him.
Yep.
I don't like where
Saturday day drinks.
I don't like how his conversations get boring and I don't know, just not chill. But it is pretty chill. He's like, hey, why don't we go get a beer?
Now his character, I believe, is kind of real with this like super smart scientist, mathematician type of world because I think it was Eric Weinstein who's like I think he's an economist, but he understands like physics. He's a genius. This guy's a genius. Been on Rogan a few times. He's just like a really smart guy, really fun to listen to with his like perspectives on different things about the world. Anyway, he was talking about back in like Oppenheimer days and like the old school time of science. He's very much against science nowadays because it's like in I guess the world of physics, they're only going down one path. They're not allowing anybody to branch off and like say this is wrong. Maybe this isn't the path we need to go down. I can't talk about this intelligently, but whatever. He's against the science world, but he was talking about back in the day, like all these scientists and genius minds were kind of had free reign. Like they were like cowboys back in the day where they could do like whatever. And these guys would party. They would hook up with chicks. It was like, they were just doing crazy experiments and were allowed freedom just to try shit. And nowadays, I guess it's more restricted in the world where there's like a lot of politics involved. And it's just like, he thinks it's gotten ruined. But anyway, so like that kind of goes in line with Professor Lambeau being the cowboy, trying to hook up with women, trying to party, day drink during the day at his alumni.
But he's outdated.
Tailgate. Yeah.
Yeah. It's not that chill anymore.
Nope. You're about to get me too'd, buddy. Give him a few years, your ass is on the front page.
You're going to take away those medals.
Your ass is getting fired from MIT.
Oh, that's funny. I think that's all I got for Good Will Hunting. One of my favorites.
It's a good one.
Yeah.
Staple of my childhood. My father loves this movie.
I think, yeah. This is a good one. Like, I think my parents love this movie too.
Good for everybody.
It is.
This is a movie our grandparents would love. Our grandmas would love this one too.
Yeah. Probably shouldn't have cussed so much on this one.
Did we?
I did.
Well,
It's tough. I mean, we get to talk about Boston. Well, once I get that accent going, bro, you know,
let it rip.
let it rip.
Let her fly. All right, thank you guys for listening. Comment below your thoughts on Good Will Hunting. Let us know why you love it. Let us know why you hate it. You better not. And give us your ratings out of 10. We'd love to see those. As always, we'll catch y'all next week. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Don't forget to leave us a review on Apple or Spotify. We'll catch y'all next week. We are out.
Trying to buy my next meal. Seems all I do is drive. And when the boss man sends my next check in the mail, I'll have enough for closing time. And I've been cussing like a sailor since I ran out of weed. My tank is running dry, so I'll head on down to the railroad track and tell that man I need a ride. He says you're just in luck 'cause there's one more seat there.